All right. So when we're looking at this graph right here, it's still the number line, but now we have some vertical lines that are kind of helping us see exactly where those dots are. So these lines are very helpful to help us see that this dot is definitely on the 6. There are no dots on the or coordinates on the 7. There are no points, or there are 2 points on the 8. There are no points on the 9. There's no points on the 10. It makes it a little bit easier. See over here, it would have taken a little more thought. How many points are above 11? You might see one, or you might have to go, oh, is that 11? No, that was 10. Oh, this is 11. So now with these lines, it should be clearer. There you go, 11 right there. Right. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Okay, so the next thing is, what if there was a different number line? What if there was like a vertical number line? So this is actually what we call our y-axis. All right. So before we were talking about the x-axis goes horizontally, the y-axis goes vertically. So this is our y-axis. And once again, the dots are in the exact same place. The points are in the exact same place. So you use this y-axis to help describe where your point is. All right, so go ahead and try and describe where your point is now. So you might have used a little bit different of a description. For instance, last time we know that on our last image we had 2 points on 8, but now when we look at this y-axis over here, we don't have an 8 anymore, right? So there's only 1 point on 8 now, right? So our y-axis 8 has different information than our x-axis 8, right? 8 over here had 2 dots on it, and then 8 over here only has 1 dot on it. So that's the y-axis, all right, the vertical axis. So you have your x-axis and your y-axis. These are the parts of your coordinate plane, all right? So here's kind of what it looks like when we put all that together, all right? So let me, there it is. Let me get the handy dandy pen out. All right, and so this is our x-axis over here, and this is over here our y-axis. Oops, it doesn't matter what color it is. That's our y-axis, all right? So if we wanted to give the location of our points, now we can be really specific. It's almost like Battleship, all right? And what I mean by that is you're going to say your x number first, and then your y number, all right? So your x-axis number, let's say that your point is this one right here, all right? We're going to find out what number it is on the x-axis first. So that lines up with the 6. So our x-axis point is 6. And then we're going to check our y-axis point, which is also 6. All right. So if we wanted to give the exact location of this point right here, it's at 6, 6. 6 on the x-axis, so we run 6, and then 6 on the y-axis, so we jump 6. All right. So you run on the horizontal x-axis and you jump on the y-axis, all right? So the x-axis is horizontal and the y-axis is vertical, okay? And it's almost like you can kind of see that V in part of the y. All right, it's vertical, and then it just kind of turns into a start of a y-axis. So I want you to go ahead and I want you to locate your point that you've been using this whole time. I want you to find its x-coordinate. So what number is it on the x-axis, which goes from side to side? And then what number is it on the y-axis, which goes up and down? And then see if someone can find your point by giving them that coordinate. And we'll check it out when we come back. All right, welcome back. So, did that help? Were you able to describe where your point was a lot easier than you were on, let's say, the first screen, right? So, remember when we started off, our points were just kind of in space. They had no coordinates. They had no numbers telling us where they were. And then we added the x-axis, and then all of a sudden it was like, oh, okay, so there's a home. This has a home on the x-axis at 2. This one has a home on the x-axis at 6. Then we added the y-axis, and before you knew it, it was like, okay, this one is